Hello and welcome to the second video. Alright, now before I start talking about plot, I have to talk about the setting a little bit. The setting kind of failed. I mean, first off, it's set in 1961. I didn't get that feeling. I got maybe 80s or 90s. And the reason mostly why I got that feeling were the costumes of the characters. First off, Maura McTaggart. Now, I have so many complaints about her, and it's just mostly because they took the name and slapped it onto a new character who was meant to be a love interest for Xavier, and it just failed so bad. But she's a female CIA agent. She's the only female CIA agent. And she's wearing this skirt that is just so short. And then she goes into the Hellfire Club. And goes in bras and panties. And what? No! You are a female CIA agent. You don't do that. You are pretty much screwing over your entire gender for being in the CIA. Oh my god, you stupid. And the fact that she's really dumb and I really don't like her. I digress. A lot of the clothes they wear and a lot of the styles of clothes they wear don't really look like they're from the 60s. They look like maybe they're from the 80s and 90s. Now, that struck me for a loop. But this actual set design had problems too. Stuff like, the strip joint, the actual mansion, the bars, stuff like that. They didn't look like the 60s. They looked, kind of older. Not older. They looked younger, I guess. Seeing as how 80s, 90s style. And you have this whole thing with, trying to throw some stuff in that be 60s-ish, like the big blocky phone and whatever. I do like the mostly yellow and blue outfits, the canon X-Men outfits. Those were pretty funny to see in real life. But yeah, it was. I suppose I should mention, considering the plot, all the characters who really are there are kind of minor X-Men. They're not really relevant. They're only briefly mentioned, or they're not directly part of the main X-Men team. Now, to start off, that wouldn't be a problem. They had some cameos, but the cameos added to the inconsistencies, really. Well, half of them did. There are 4 cameos altogether. First cameo, the first 2 cameos were of Cyclops and Storm as their Aurora and Scott Summers forms. Now, this was when Xavier was scanning around for all the mutants and everything, and, well... Oh, yeah, should probably mention that. Spoilers. Was scanning for the mutants, and that was pretty funny. But it added to the time inconsistencies, which, just struck me as stupid. It's really not that hard of a thing to not fail on. Sorry. But that aside, inconsistencies aside, I know I'm saying that aside a lot, but I keep on bringing stuff up that I shouldn't. Inconsistencies aside, they were well-placed cameos. It's like, oh, you're scanning, you find these mutants, okay. My question is, why didn't you go after them? Storm is an alpha-level mutant, and Scott is also a very high-level mutant. They're both very powerful. Why? Then next came Wolverine, who was a quick, really quick shot, albeit Hugh Jackman probably got a couple $1 million for that. Which, Magneto, Charles Xavier introduced themselves and he's like, fuck off. Oh, that brought a smile on my face. That was definitely Wolverine. And the final was just a cameo of an actress, the one that played Mystique, Rebecca Romijn. I know I'm saying her name wrong. She was one of the transformations that Mystique did when she was trying to seduce Magneto. And that was all really interesting. But I should really get on to the plot. The plot is interesting because it takes stuff that has happened and just puts such a grander scheme to it. This huge thing. And it really does feel like it was the eventual cause of Xavier and Magneto splitting up. The problem was it went way too fast. It's like, yeah, I feel a camaraderie between the two. But they've known each other for only a few days. I don't think that makes them lifelong buddies. Yes, Xavier saw all of his deep, dark past. But that doesn't really feel like best friends forever. Yeah. Now, Shaw's plan actually was really interesting because we all understand Sebastian Shaw is the main villain of the film. His whole plan was to start a nuclear war. Because they're using the idea that was used back in the beginning of the X-Men comics that radiation is what caused the mutations. It wasn't a natural evolution. And he was also going to use that as a way of powering himself up. Because Sebastian Shaw's powers is that he uses energy to supplement himself and give him super abilities, super strength, super speed, healing. It worked. His death was a bit of a problem. It confused me greatly how he could die that way. But I'm not going to give it to the plot. He needed to die, so they killed him that way. But near the end of it all, at the end of the film, I will admit, I wanted more. I wanted to see what happens after, the world starts going after the mutants. I wanted to see what would happen. And while certain scenes felt like they weren't needed, and other scenes just felt stupid, it was a pretty good film. I went in there without really high expectations. I just felt, this is going to be another X-Men film. I have so many continuity problems that's going to have. But I went in and it was actually pretty good. Which is weird, because usually when I go into a film and I'm a big fan of continuity. I like continuity being correct. And I was a really big fan. I was like, yes, there's going to be some type of continuity, please. But they really kind of screwed it over. Now, there was some weird continuity, like with Angel going... Spoilers. Got it that time. With Angel going with Magneto and everything, but... it was kind of badly done, and it sort of irritated me. Because I felt it could have been done a lot better. But I went in, I saw it. It went by, like that. Dang it, I can't snap my fingers. There you go. It went by really quickly, and it left me wanting more. I want to see now what happens. Now that Xavier is in a wheelchair for very stupid reasons, I want to see what the future of the X-Men is. I want to see how they incorporate what is meant to be the more modern idea of the X-Men in there. And I want to see how they fix the continuity problems. Because there are a lot. Yes, I know. I said I wasn't going to say anything about continuity, but there are continuity problems. I mean, by 2000, Scott Summers and Storm are going to be like 50-something. They're going to be Xavier's age. Really, I felt it was a good film. I felt it could have been a bit better, but out of all the X-Men films, it's definitely my favorite. The only problem is, it's not really a superhero film. It is a very, very, very well done action flick. Well, super being action flick. But it's not really... Actually, I shouldn't say superhero film. I should say comic book film. It's not really a comic book film. It's a very good superhero film. It's a very good action film. It's just not really a comic book film. But, out of all of them, this has to be the best. So, I say if you have the chance, go get it. I will be putting up reviews of Kung Fu Panda 2 and of The Hangover Part 2 later. Well, later meaning some other day. But hey, have a good day. And I'm off to review. Good day.